Bikes should be banned. Bicycles and bikers should pay licensing. Bike riders should be allowed to contribute. It will give them credibility when they are whining. This is so horribly great. It's just like so much ignorance in one comment. See, my most recent ride along with Luis has been generating a lot of positive conversation, which is awesome. But as with any video out there with people riding bicycles in those videos, it also attracts some comments that are, well, they're a perfect example of the misconceptions that I'm trying to fight. So I'm gonna break down this comment, fact check it, and shed some light on why Larry's arguments don't really hold up at all. Argument number 1. Older roads versus newer roads. Which are actually safer? The comment says, because of the design of many older roads in London, bikes should be banned. So when critiquing me, in particular, grammar and spelling are key, so banned is probably what you meant to say. But banning bike lanes is completely backwards. The older, narrower roads of London and cities around the world are often actually safer because they naturally calm traffic. Drivers are more cautious when space feels constrained, so narrower roads. The real problem is that newer, massively wide roads, the stroads that are neither streets nor roads, which are designed like highways but have homes and businesses directly on them, are pretty bad. These are the roads where people are dying. So the solution is not to ban bikes from the safer roads. It's to fix the dangerous ones for everyone. These stroads, aside from being dangerous, are just shitty for everyone, no matter how you are getting around the city. Drivers are consistently getting themselves into dangerous vehicle-on-vehicle collisions, in addition to injuring and murdering people and animals outside of vehicles. On to argument number 2, the ultimate whataboutism. Bikes should be banned. Alright, let's play that game. Why not ban cars, right? They are the vehicles that drivers are consistently using to cause massive property damage. Aside from, human and animal damage, drivers flip their vehicles over in intersections constantly here in London. And yes, tragically kill people outside of vehicles. A bicycle has never plowed through a living room or an intersection and murdered a crowd of people. The call to ban the most vulnerable, sustainable, and least dangerous road users is just illogical. Argument number 3, cyclists should pay licenses. Spoiler, we actually already do pay. This is the most common and easily debunked argument. Bikers should pay licenses to help cover costs. Well, let's be perfectly clear here, cyclists already pay for road infrastructure. How? I'm glad you asked. Through municipal property taxes, provincial income taxes, and federal sales taxes, amongst other things. Roads are not funded just by gas taxes or driver license fees alone. They are funded by everyone in society. In fact, people who don't drive are subsidizing drivers way more than the other way around. They cause a fraction of the wear and tear, but pay the same taxes to maintain the massive road network that primarily serves drivers. Don't even get me started on cul-de-sacs that just are big wastes of people's taxes for paving and infrastructure to service just a few houses with maybe a dozen people in them. But meanwhile, bike lanes that service way more people per day are scrutinized? Really? Yeah, right. Our priorities here in North America are pretty messed up. Also, I need to point this out, that bike lanes aren't really bicycle infrastructure. They're motor vehicle infrastructure. Because if there weren't cars on the road, we wouldn't need bike lanes in the first place. The only reason those exist are because of drivers being so dangerous in their cars and trucks and vans and everything and not paying attention and all of the road design, etc. Argument number 4, the cost of chaos. Who's really whining about the damage? Larry's comment ends with, it will give them credibility when they're whining. No, I hear you whining loud and clear, bud. Let's talk about whining though, because who's actually costing society money? I've got a chart here that is absolutely eye-opening if you haven't already seen it. It shows the comparative level of damage that different vehicles cause to road surfaces. They use an average car as the baseline of 1. Now, look at this further. A smart car? Damage factor of 0.041. Basically nothing. Prius is 0.338. Now look at a Chevy Tahoe. 3.57. That's 3.5 times more damage than a car. And a Hummer? We're not even talking the electric one. A Hummer H2 is 21.3 times more damage to road surfaces than a car. And a 9-ton big rig? 410 times more damage than the average car. That's a pretty good argument when it comes to, rail and freight via rail instead of all the trucking that's going on. That's a whole other topic for a whole other video though. Okay, all of that's great, but what about a human being riding a bicycle? And let's do a fringe case at that, because we want to make this count. So let's say a very heavy human being is riding a very heavy bicycle. It has a damage factor of 0.00006. I ran out of fingers. You would need over 16,000 people riding bicycles to cause the same amount of road wear as one single average driver. Compare that to everything else on the chart and your mind will be blown. So when we talk about covering costs, maybe we should actually be having a conversation about weight-based licensing and registration fees for multi-ton vehicles that are actually destroying our infrastructure and endangering lives, rather than the bicycles that cause no damage. Oh man. That would actually encourage people to drive lighter, safer vehicles instead of maxing out their lines of credits or high interest financing on their massive 4x4 emotional support vehicles that never get the chance to haul anything more than a takeout dinner on the way back from their office job, and that's only if they can fit through the drive-thru with their massive tank of a truck that is totally unnecessary for like 98% of trucks on the road. To summarize, the idea that people who ride bicycles don't pay is a complete myth. The idea that people riding bicycles should be banned from older, safer roads is backwards completely. And the data shows that if anybody should be paying more to cover the immense cost of damage and danger, it's the operators of the largest, heaviest vehicles on the road. I mean, that is already why vehicle insurance rates are already so high. They are the most dangerous things on our city streets. Probably in our city, actually. Like that everyone constantly encounters and is in danger from. Yeah. So the comment asked for credibility, and I have to argue that credibility comes from understanding the facts, the data, and real financial and social costs of our transportation choices. Whining is complaining without a solution. Advocating for safer, more equitable, and more fiscally responsible streets, that's not whining. That's called citizenship. Also, a quick note, if you are going to demand that people be banned from public roads, maybe learn how to spell banned. I mean, banned and banned are very different words. It just adds a layer of irony to this whole thing. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Check out my other videos, and if you want behind the scenes and early access to videos and things like that, check out my Patreon links and stuff below.